fender bender before. As you can tell, there's some scratches in the paint. You can see them right there. Hard to tell. Plus, I'm getting into some Bondo, some body filler. And if you look on the back side, there's obviously not original seam sealer. Plus, this isn't a popular place for these cars to rust. So we're gonna get it stripped down and start sandblasting. Get it back past the rust at least. Get it neutralized and resealed. See? Got shiny metal from whenever they did body work. Looks like there's a weld there too. This is definitely hit at some point. So it's going to be impossible to ever truly get rid of the rust. But you can certainly help prevent it. I would say to completely get rid of the rust, you need to like separate the seam. You see the seam here? You have to separate the seam because like even when I seal this, you know, there's a seam here. I mean, there's rust behind here. I can't get behind there. So unless you pull this whole quarter off, it's gonna rust again. I get the blaster in as best I can, all sealed up with the epoxy primer and seam sealer, and that should hopefully cure it. But at least get it good enough till we traded it. And this is why you don't buy used cars. That probably wasn't necessary, but it was rusty and I had some sand. Plus the wheel sticks to it. It like rusts together, corrodes together, whatever. So I'll put some paint on it, primer and paint, keep it from rusting, and yeah, just messing around. So need to clean up, blast all this, put some brake clean on everything I blasted so the paint sticks to it. Probably take a de-sander this, try to get it down a little bit more. And then especially here, I'll backfill this with some kitty hair. This is Bondo with fiberglass strands in it. I'll start doing some sanding. We got it down pretty good. Even inside here, got it cleaned up as best as I could get it in there. We'll get some epoxy primer stuff in there and call it a day. Alright, primer's dry, so we're going to put this Dyno Matte spray on for interior exterior use. Dries the touch in 20 minutes, paint will 6 hours, helps prevent rust, will not crack or chip. This will work great. So I got everything seam sealed and rust proofed. Should be good to go now. To dry. Put a little bit of filler on these spots and get them blocked and ready for the body shop. The Bondo mix, we'll put a little bit on before it dries. put light coats because you sand it off. You don't want to build it up too much. Because I have learned the hard way on that. And it's already starting to set up. See it? It's already clumpy. Look at all that waste. I wasted too much. Alright, so bottom's dry. We're gonna sand it down and see where we're at. Alright, go put another quick skin coat on where the low spots are. So what I like to do is I'll take the spatula thing, I'll stick it on the Bondo. That way when it sets up, like it already is, it'll just peel right out. We're in my shop because it was raining out earlier. So yeah, we primered it. I took Scotch-Brite and then wrapped 600 grit sandpaper over top of it. So you got a nice smooth sanding surface. And I wet sanded the primer. Came out real nice. Got a couple of metal spots here. I'm gonna put another coat of primer on it and let that dry and wet sand it again, see where we're at, and then should be ready to drive it over to the body shop because they are going to fix the back because it was in a, she got rear-ended, so they're replacing the hatch, the upper bumper, lower bumper, everything. So, but yeah, the guy at the body shop said if I fixed the rust and got it close, he would touch this up for $100. So I think that's pretty cheap, and I'm taking advantage of that offer. So, yep. Now we're gonna do just a couple of nice light coats. I got 2-1 filler and sandable primer. Sands to a smooth finish. So I'll wet sand it after it all dries, but I want to paint the edges. Light coats. Nice and light. So I'm not worried about this spot because the plastic piece goes on there. But this here is obviously all gonna be repainted. So just nice light coats. Make sure you get the edge there. All right, that should be good. We'll let that dry. We'll wet sand it and we'll take it to the body shop.